يفقهوا قولي ربي زدني علما ربي زدني علما ربي زدني علما اللهم فقهنا في الدين اللهم إني أسألك علما نافعا ورزقا طيبا وعملا متقبلا. This is a very, very, very important part of our life because nobody can deny, oh, this not gonna happen with me. Okay, everybody know that kullu nafsin zaiqatul maut. Okay, there is ayah in Quran, kullu nafsin zaiqatul maut. The one who is in this, the one who is, the who is alive has to be die, right? So this time will come on all of us. Other than this, we all have mom and dad, but one day we will not be with them. They will not be with us, right? The siblings and parents and some relative. So what are the rules in Islam when it's time? Time of death. Okay, so this is also something which is very, very important because I was thinking first we will finish the namaz and then we will move on this one. Let me check if there will be any other article. So this is very, very, very important. Okay, everybody should know, and everybody at the time when you are learning this article, always or teaching anyone else, always feel fear of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala in your heart, and keep all the things in the mind. Okay, when something happens, sometimes the family is in so much. Sometimes the family don't know what to do, and sometimes they're in so much grief that they don't understand what to do. So keep these things in mind, and other than this, if you forget anything, just open the book and check. Give me a second. Aisha, let me put my charger on. Okay, so inshallah, first Farah, you read, and then I'll explain. And when our teacher was explaining this, I just still remember, like she said, feel so much fear of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, so much fear of that, so much fear that oh, this is gonna happen, because so much life stuff going on, and we feel that okay, this time is very late, it's not be very near, so why we should feel worried. So at the time she said feel it like when you are reading. Okay, so I will say the same thing to you, feel it and feel a fear of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, that what Allah is asking from us and what we are doing, because it's gonna happen with all of us. Okay, yes, start.
Okay, procedure at the time of death. Recite Surah Yasin at the time of death and make the person lie on his right hand side facing the Qibla if this will not cause any pain to him. If not, leave him as he is. It is also permissible to make him lie flat on his back with his feet pointing towards the Qibla and his head slightly elevated. The person sitting nearby should recite the kalima in an audible voice. He should not ask the person to recite the kalima because it is possible that he will refuse.
Okay, so first of all, when it's time of death, and if you know this person is, look like he will not be survive so long, then the first thing should come in mind that we should start reciting Surah Yasin. Just sit beside that person and start, reciting Surah Yasin. Surah Yasin make it easy for a person to leave the soul. We have learned this so many times, right? So Surah Yasin is very, very important. Keep always in mind Surah Yasin, make it easy for a person to leave this world. Okay. So first of all, the thing should come in mind Surah Yasin. Okay. Sometimes it happen like you are not in the same city, you are not in the same room, you are not, with that person who you are hearing that it's a very tough time for him and he's leaving the world, or he's very closer to that. So no matter you are with that person or not, if they are in another country, another city, what is important? Recite it. Yasin. Okay? Because if you will make a niyyah reciting Surah Yasin for that person, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make it easy for that person to leave the soul. Why it is very, very important to sit beside that person? Because we all know when we recite, angels come closer and listen very carefully what we are when we recite. So the angel of rahmah, the angel of blessing, they come near and they make it easy to leave the soul from the body. So it is very important. And you all know my mother-in-law passed away a few weeks ago. So I still remember my teacher told me that someone sit beside her and read Surah Yasin in the ears, like in ears, so she can, uh, even though she is not, you are feeling like she is not in senses and she is not replying back anything, but the voice is going inside. So the important is voice should go inside the ear. So sit beside her and or the person who is whose passing time is closer, just sit beside her and recite Surah Yasin. Point number one. Okay, so take a notebook and write all the points. These points will help you or in your notebook, because as I said, Kamil, this book is very, very important. Whatever you are learning from this book, make a separate notebook and write all the point, like the procedure, Sharia procedure at the time of that. Make a heading and write the note, like first thing recite Surah Yasin, then point number two, then point number three. So if something happened, you can quickly review rather than open this book and read all the articles. So this will help you uh, to to guide someone. Okay, sometimes I have noticed, like sometimes when sometimes people don't know what to do. That's why it is hard for them to understand, and nobody guide at that time, so that's why they start doing random stuff. So rather than doing random stuff, they can stick on the right one just because of your guidance. Okay, so note all the points. Okay, so recite Surah Yasin is point number one. Make the person lie on his right side facing the qibla. Okay, so the important is his face must be toward the qibla. If the person is sick and on his bed, so always feel like it's your parents, you brother, sister, neighbors, relative, whoever. So guide them that his face should be toward the qibla, and because it's time of death, he cannot move the face right or left, because that is a very painful time. Okay, so if he will lay in that position that he is turning on his right hand side, so to face the qibla, it will be very good. But if this will not cause any pain to him. Okay, our we should not, like he's in so much pain and we are trying to shift him right or left, not like this, but if easily you can turn him toward right side of his face and let them face the qibla. So the qibla direction, how important qibla direction in our life. All lifetime we face qibla for reading our salah, and in the end facing qibla at the time of death as well. Okay, if not, leave him as it is. Okay, if you find it is very difficult, sometimes the direction of the bed is in a way that it's, because normally I don't know, you guys check or no, because normally when we were in our back home, we always listen this and we follow here as well, that the bad direction should be in a way that it should not face, your feet should not face toward the qibla. So set the bed in the room in a way that we should not face, like in your, when you are healthy, I'm talking about that your that should always in the direction when you are sleeping, your feet should not face the qibla, because we always pray and face the qibla. Okay, so at the time of sleeping, maybe your feet is toward the qibla, so that shouldn't be happen. But at the time of death, you should check, like if you can tilt the direction, and you can the person can face the qibla. Okay, it is also permissible to make him lie flat on his back with his feet pointing toward the qibla. Like the important thing is the feet pointing toward the qibla and his head slightly elevated, so the head can also face toward the qibla. Okay, this is point number two. The person sitting nearby should recite the kalima in an audible voice. This is also very important. Sometimes, you know what happens? People say, "Oh, it's your that time. Please recite kalima. It's your that time. Please recite recite the kalima and please recite the kalima." So they are just giving you this advice in this book that this is not important that a person is reciting the kalima. Okay, because when you are leaving the world and when you are entering into another world, that time is very, very, very difficult for a person. Okay, and you don't know how much pain a person is suffering because Nabi Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam at the time of his death said to his wife Aisha radiallahu anha that this time is very hard on me, so I'm thinking how much hard this time will be on my ummah because he was perspiring from top to toe and he said this time is very, very hard when the body leaves the yeah, when the soul leaves the body and you are leaving the world. That time is very tough on each and every person. Okay, so if you will say what is the reason behind, if you will say that person recite the kalima, might be it is possible that he refused reciting the kalima, might be he starts saying something bad because of his pain. So what is the important thing is you start reciting the kalima, just sit beside and start reciting kalima. If a person was a pious person, he was reciting kalima, he was reading Quran, he was connected with the namaz in his life. Then, of course, when someone will be reciting kalima beside him, he will recite the kalima in the heart or in the mind or from his mouth. But if a person is always busy in listening music and doing other stuff, then it is very hard at the time of that he will recite kalima. So don't force him to recite kalima, okay, and just because maybe the person refused because of the pain. Okay, so the important number 3 point which is important is just sit and recite kalima la ilaha illallah muhammadur rasulullah or ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. There is a hadith. The summary of that hadith is if the last word will be kalima, then that person will dakhal al jannah. That person will be most enter in jannah. If the last words will be kalima. If a person is very closer to time of death and that person is insensitive, he recite kalima. But if he start talking with the worldly stuff, then recite the kalima and then only recite the kalima and point him to recite the kalima again. So his last word must be the kalima. If that person is not if that person recite the kalima and then stay quiet because of the pain and not talking anything, that doesn't mean that the last breath when leaving the body at that time he should recite. But the only thing is the last word should be the kalima, then it's for sure that person will go in jannah. So if he recite the kalima and he is quiet, that means you don't need to force him because his last word was kalima. Okay, but if he busy in talking with anyone, the worldly talk, then you can remind him again. Remind him means just recite the kalima in front of that person so he can recite. But as our teacher always tell us, if uh, your if your daily life is connected to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then your that time will be easier to recite kalima. If your daily life is different, and you are used to listening music and enjoying and fun and this kind of time, then it is hard for you at the time of that to recite kalima. Okay, on passing away. Okay, so the second para, so Kamil, you can recite this one, you can read this one.
Wait, I have a quick question though.
Yeah,
So what kalima does the person have to recite?
first or second, because you are
Okay.
basically giving the witness that Allah is one and Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is the messenger of Allah. Okay, so normally people recite Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Ashhadu an la ilaha because I bear witness that Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Allah is the only God and Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is the Prophet of Allah. Okay, so either first kalima
Okay.
or if you have more courage, then you can read the second one. Okay, if you feel like okay, I still have little energy because as they are explaining, this time will be very very tough. So we don't know how we will be able to bear that pain, or how much tougher, like we cannot even understand the sensitivity of that time. But if we reset, and then that is why it is important. Ulama said at least 100 times, recite kalima every day. So it will be your habit. And then at the time of death, Allah will help you to, recite the kalima before that. And there is one more thing, which which our teacher always explains. The one who are used to, the one who has habit using miswak, there are 70 benefit using miswak. Out of that 70 benefit, one is a person will get chance to recite kalima at the time of his death. This is the benefit of using miswak. So my teacher always recommend, even you have a wallet, keep a small miswak in the wallet, because always make it habit to use miswak with this niyyah that, oh Allah, give me topic to recite the kalima at the time of that. And the one who are used to do miswak, those person will, get chance to recite the kalima. Like they will not forget reciting kalima, and it will not be very hard on their tongue to recite kalima. So make it habit to recite kalima like 100 times, 50 times, at least 10 times after every namaz. So it will be your habit. And then, uh, no, 20 times after every namaz, then it will make 100, right? So they say, like, make it habit to recite kalima, like even though la ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, but make it habit to recite, so the tongue will be used to reciting the kalima. If you will not recite, then it is not possible that, that in that pain you will feel like you have to recite the kalima. Okay. Okay. So the second para, comment.
Read it
Yeah.
from on the passing way.
Yeah.
Okay. On passing away, take a broad strip of cloth or band, tie it and tie it from below his chin and above his head. Thereafter, close his eyes, place a large toe of each foot together, and tie them with a strip of clothing. Place his hands at his sides and on his chest. Thereafter, inform the people of his death. Hasten towards his
Burial.
burial. First of all, make the arrangements for the grave, and thereafter request for the following items for the coffin.
Okay. On the passing away, this para was explaining before passing time, like before death, what you should do. When you know, like, okay, this person has passed away, and you are there. Normally, it do not happen because we go to the masjid, we attend the funeral, we come back home. But it doesn't mean that you will not face this in your family. Okay, you will, with your parents, with your siblings, with your kids, anyone, right? So always keep these things in mind, okay? When a person passed away, take a broad strip of cloth, like you can take a cloth, okay, a kapda, okay, a cloth, or a band or anything, then tie it from his chin, like if let's suppose this is your face, then tie around the face, okay, like um, start from the mouth, at the bottom of your mouth, okay, and then tie all around your head. It is very important because this is the right way in Islam. And there are chances to go, the ear goes inside, so they, because we normally see the funeral on the TV, for the Christians and Jews, okay, but we should learn like what is our culture, like what is not culture, what is our Sharia, okay, what is our, being an Islamic person, what to do. Okay, so first quickly take a cloth or a band and tie it from the chin towards the head, okay, wrap it around, okay, then close his eyes, because at the time of that normally the eyes are open, so close the eyes, okay, place a large toes of each foot together, like the thumb, the larger toes, okay, then tie both the toes together, okay, otherwise, because what happened when a person, I should know, at the time when person die, the body is very soft, you can move here and there, but after some time it becomes stiff, and you cannot even move right or left, like You cannot, okay? So right after the death, first you need to close, first tie the, chin, then close the eyes, or close the eyes, then tie the chin, and then both the feet tie together. Otherwise, when the body is start becoming stiff, sometimes one leg is here, one leg is here, okay? So tie the feet together. Okay, this is third thing. Okay, tie them with a strip of cloth. So take a small piece of cloth and tie the head, head and mouth, and tie the feet. Okay, and also place his hand at his side. In Muslim, we place the hand at the side, not on the chest. Okay, in Christians and Jews, they tie the hand on the chest. Okay, so this is important that you place the hand right away at the side, because if you will not tie the hand at the side, then it will be stiff after. Okay, so you have to make it proper, and proper doesn't mean that tied on the chest, because this is not our culture, not our sharia. Okay, thereafter inform the people of his death. Then sometimes people become panic, and they don't know what to do, like, okay, because this happened with me when I don't know what was my age, but I was not married at that time, and my father passed away. And when my father passed away, my mom, she become faint, like she was not in senses at that time, like it suddenly happened. And uh, I don't know how it comes to my mind. I take a, at that time there were no cell phones, so there were only landlines. So I grabbed the, notebook, and then I start calling all the people that my father passed away, and this is the time we are just doing the burial. Okay, so one person should be very, 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 very strong in the family. Okay, so that person should gather all the people, calm down, and then sometime it happened because if a close family member passed away, so uh, uh, they lose the senses, which I noticed. Okay, so you should feel brave at that time. You should gather all the people. You should not feel, oh, I'm a girl, or I'm a boy, I cannot handle this, or I'm not so much adult handling this. No, you should know the sharia. And I have seen so many religious kids that they recite the funeral of his parents by their own. Like, they know they are only two rakas. So they say, Imam Taba, this is my mom. I want to recite the funeral for my mom. I want to recite the salate janaza. That is called janaza, right? So salate janaza of my mom or dad. Okay, so try to read by your own. Okay, this is also very, very, very blessed thing that you are reciting the janaza of your own family members. Okay, so first gather them, and then, okay, give me a second. Aisha is calling me, so I'm coming. Just give me a. Okay, so yes, I was telling you, sometime a person lose the senses, so never ever feel like, oh, I'm not that much strong, I'm not that much big enough to handle all this. No, you should feel that, okay, I know what is sharia. And sometimes some people misguide it as well. Okay, so if you know the right procedure, what Islam is teaching us, then you will stop if anyone is trying to misguide you. Okay, so that is why it is also very, very important. Okay, so therefore inform the people of his death, that, okay, this is the burial time, and what is the masjid you are deciding for the funeral, how many people are going for the funeral. So these are the things which you need to arrange. Okay, talk to your elder family members. Okay, that, okay, if it's, let's suppose, mom janaza or sister janaza or girl janaza, then the girl will go to give her the bath, right? And if it's a man janaza, so how many close family members they allowed, the masjid allowed to come in, and then you can arrange, you can decide at that time, okay, you are going. Sometimes they say, okay, four people can come, sometimes they say six people can come, so you can call the masjid, you can decide, okay, this masjid is closer, we are taking the body at this masjid for the bath, and then how many people they are allowing, and then you can contact all those people, decide the time, and these are the things which you can handle. And it's not important like you are 16 or 15 or 10. If you know it, you can handle each and everything. Okay. So then this is very important. Like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that you should do fast. The burial should be very, very fast. Okay. It shouldn't be like that. Okay. Tomorrow she passed away or he passed away, or tomorrow, day after tomorrow, or day after tomorrow, that person is coming. So we will do the janaza 2 days after or one day after. Okay. So in Islam, this is very, very important. As soon a person die, you should be very quick to bury that person. Okay. I still remember my father passed away around 11:30 or 12, and I was calling to the people that my father passed away, and someone told me the janaza will be in Asr time, like only in few hours, like in Asr time. They did so fast, and then they just tell us the janaza will be at 5 o'clock. Okay, the 5 o'clock was Asr time, so they said janaza will be at 5 o'clock. So you should be very, very worried. Do not wait for anyone, because this is amana. This is amana, and this is you have to just hand over to Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. This was a kind of loan, like Allah has sent you in this dunya, and you are His property, right? So now He is the owner. He is asking the thing back. If you passed away, that means if someone passed away, that means Allah is asking that things back. Okay, so you should not delay that. Okay, the brother is coming from US, so the flight is 16-hour delay, so we will do the janaza 16-hour delay. No, don't wait for anyone. Okay, and always recommend that the janaza should be very, very, very fast. Okay, sometimes some people lives in back home, and I have also you know these are not the stories, but it happened. Okay, if I passed away, then take my janaza to this place because I born this place or I love this place. This is absolutely not allowed, because if Allah is saying that do the janaza very fast, then it means you should not delay, because you are going back home for the janaza, taking the janaza back home and here and there. You should not do these kind of formalities. Wherever you die, that is your final destination. You must bury at that spot. Okay. So and when someone say take me to another city or another country if I passed away, and there is a procedure, like they take all the organs out from your body, and that is very painful. Even though a person passed away, but he can feel the pain. That is why it is you are not watching that he's feeling pain, but the senses are more stronger when a person was alive. That is why it is recommended to handle the janaza with so much care and give so much respect. Like maybe you have noticed how many people are holding it. They are not dragging. Oh, now the person passed away, so just drag and put it in the hole. No, they give so much respect to the janaza as well. Okay, so be very quick doing the janaza. Make it a will that wherever I will pass away, if sometimes someone passed away in Makkah, and they said, oh no, the original place was Canada, so we will bring that person in Canada. Or sometime in my husband's in my husband's friend circle or office colleague. He was uh, he was in Canada, and he said, when I passed away, take my bury me in Pakistan. So they do the arrangements, and they buried in Pakistan. So that was very hard, because for traveling, they remove all the body organs first, and then they remove all the blood and everything, then they put some kind of chemicals, and then the body is ready to travel in the plane. So this is hard. That is why, look how beautiful our religion is. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, do do it very quick. Okay, don't wait for anyone and don't transfer the body. Just what whenever a person die, like, be very quick to bury that person. Okay, first of all, make the arrangement for the grave, and thereafter after request for the following items for the kafan. Kafan means the dress which after bath you dress up. Okay, that is called kafan. Okay, so do the arrangement for the kafan, do the arrangement for the grave, and alhamdulillah, in our masjid they arrange everything. But the most important thing, which sometimes people don't follow, if a sister or if a mom passed away, then do it everything with your own hand. Okay, there are person who will guide you what are the steps, but do it, try to do it by your own hand. Okay, and if brother or father passed away, do it with your own hand. Because this, my one of my neighbor, she moved somewhere, and we figured, I came to know, like, her mom, she got cancer. So me and my friend went to visit her mom last Friday, and the masjid was just beside her house. So I said, oh, you are so blessed, the masjid is just beside your house. So she said, uh, you know they have arrangement for the funeral as well. I said, really? So she said, last week I was very upset. I said, what happened? And she said, three sons, they were just standing beside the father. That was a dead body of father. And, the Imam Saab, they announced that those three kids who are not teenager, like, good age. And they were saying, we don't know what to do. We don't know what to read. We don't know, because my father never forced us to learn these things. My father never tried that we should know these things. Like, we don't know what to do. So can you please guide us? We want to do something for our dad. So sometimes people even didn't know what to do, what to recite, what is the right way, and they are searching, their eyes are searching here and there, that someone come and someone guide us, right? So that is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put so much reward if someone passes away and you even don't know and attend the funeral. When you take a mud in the hand and you throw in the grave, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala remove forgive so much sins from your account. This is important. Okay, so anyways, first of all, make the arrangement for the grave, and thereafter request for the following item for the coffin. So just make sure everything is there in the masjid. Okay, two water pots. If there are utensils in the house, there is no need for this. Can to pour the water. So they are basically telling us that what things are required if you are doing the janaza, like you are giving the bath at home. So we are not doing that. So that is why I'm leaving that things. Okay, normally sometimes they put the cotton in the ears and the nose, because just to block the air going inside. Okay, so I'm just leaving this because our masjid, alhamdulillah, have a good arrangement. And they have arranged everything. The coffin should be made of the following manners. For man, I take a stick that is equal to the length of the deceased person. Like, there are five, I think, five clothes for the woman and three clothes for the men. Okay, the big chadar, the big chadar, then two piece of clothes inside. Okay, and for the girl, five piece of clothes. Okay, so one is which the two extra, one which tie on the chest and one which tie on to cover the ears. Okay, so when uh, when a girl die, when any female die, like, there are two extra clothes, one which is wrapping around the head. So sometime, I still remember my mom said, like, they avoid wearing the scarf entire whole life. Like, I don't want to wear the scarf. But at the end of the life, anyways, when you passed away and you are dependent on others, they are giving you bath, they are doing your stuff. At that time they are tying your head with the cloth, okay? So why not when we are alive and we submit ourselves toward Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, okay? So just leaving this because this alhamdulillah arranged in the masjid, but keep this in mind, like these are too much more details which I don't want to go, but keep this in mind. Always remember, if someone passed away, read the janaza by your own, even though if it's your mom, dad, sister, brother. Just make yourself ready, like, okay, I will read the janaza, because the way you will read the janaza with your soft heart, no one else will read the janaza, like, no one else will make the dua like the way you will make the dua, okay? So, yeah, so these are the 5 piece of quotes, okay? Izar, Lifafa, and these are the name, these are the length and the description, okay? So you don't need it because, as I said, they arrange everything, okay, in the masjid. So, but your job is to confirm that, okay, how many pieces of quotes you are, they are giving, and, the procedure. Try to do everything with your own hand. This is so much blessing that if father passed away, you are doing it by your own, and if mother passed away, you are doing it by your own. You are reading the janaza, like the namaz for them. This is very important. Sometimes kids don't know, they feel shy. They said, okay, this is the job of an imam to stand up and read the janaza for my father or for my mother. No, like it's only 2 rakah. You can ask, and 2 rakah and two simple surahs, right? So you can ask, like, you can ask the imam, just tell me like how to read it. I have not in my mind. I read sometime before, but I have not in my mind. So you tell me, and then I will recite. Okay. And there is a small dua which we recite for when a person passed away. Allahumma li hajjina li mayyitina. Okay. So inshallah, try to memorize that dua. That is very very short. Okay. And if you are used to going attending the janaza, this is a reward as well, and then this will give you uh, the way how to read when someone passed away. So inshallah, when any family member passed away, read the janaza by your own. Just a step forward at that time and say, I will read the janaza. Even though Afan is so young, but I always say at my home, if something happened to me or the father, just a step forward at that time and say, oh, I will read the janaza at that time when we are with them in our good times. So why not we are with them at the bad times? Okay. So always step forward and say, I will read the janaza for my mom, for my dad, or for my brother or sister. This is so much blessing. And never ever feel scared. Go and say, like, okay, you are giving back. I want to join you. Just guide me how to do it, and I will do it by myself. Because in our back home, some close family member go and they guide them how to do it, and then and they do. But over here, because kids are not used to learn these things and to understand these things, so they feel something weird, like, okay, this is not my job, this is the job that other people are doing. No, they are your close family member. Okay, you should always be ready to do everything with your own hand, and then you will feel so much satisfaction. Oh, I did it everything with my own hand. Because the day you will do these things with your own hand, you will realize, Alhamdulillah, that I have spent a good time with my Quran and understand the Islam very well. Alhamdulillah, my mom and dad put lots of effort to connect me with Quran, so this is the time to pay back, right? So inshallah, never ever feel scared, because sometimes people are scared with a dead body. They said, "Oh, we cannot, and we don't want to enter there." And yeah, one more thing, when someone passed away here, so normally we call to the hospital, because you are not supposed to keep the dead body at home, right? So they take the dead body in the at the hospital, and they put it in the freezer, right? So this is very important, because when I was attending one program in which they were, because the masjid normally, and the people normally arrange this kind of program to educate people, but because we never focus, like, okay, they are arranging this kind of program, so we never go there. But they teach so many things related to our country, okay? So I still remember, like, I attended one program, and in that program she was telling, because in Jews and Christians normally they just make the dead body naked, and then they have a bag, they put the dead body in that bag, a plastic bag, and then they zip up, and then they put it in the freezer. So sometimes what happened, if you don't tell them, don't, undress my mom, don't undress my father, so they undress and then they put the body inside, right? So this is your job to tell them, don't undress my father or mother or brother or sister. So they don't. If you say, then they don't. Okay. So this is your job to remind them, don't undress my father or mother, because of course entire whole life they cover their body, they do not show anyone, so why should they show to anyone, right, after their death? So this is a duty of a brother or a son to take care in this matter. So tell them, like, don't undress them, okay? And the because when they put the body inside the cover, so they fold the hand on the chest. So as you have learned in Islam, we just keep the hand straight. So this is your job to tell them that don't keep the hand on the chest, just keep the hand straight, okay? So if you will tell them, they do that. So she was telling, when we go to give bath, sometimes the body is in very very bad shape, because when they put the body in the cover, so the hand is banded, sometimes leg is banded, and then when a person passed away, the body becomes stiff, and it become then you are not able to move it. So if the hand is banded or the leg is banded, so it's forever, even in the grave it will be banded, right? So it is your job to make sure at that time, like, it is straight, okay? And when you are giving bath, of course, the person will be teaching you, but from navel to knee is a private part. It counts as a private part for the girl and for the men as well. Okay, so they put a cloth, and when you give istinja, like when you clean that part, you will not directly touch or feel the body from navel to the knee. You have to wear gloves or another clothes, and you do the things with that. We are not allowed to even see directly or to touch directly even the dead body. But there is a procedure, like giving them a bath and the wuzu in a normal way. So method of giving ghusl and kafan. So this is, I think not important at this stage, because of course, if you will go to give, according to our, because different people are, follow different fiqh. Okay, so you must know what fiqh is you are following. Okay, because Isna is doing other way, and Makki Masjid and these other masjids are doing another, little different in their doings. Okay, so you must be very very clear, if something happens, which masjid we will go and which masjid we will follow, because they will guide you how to do the ghusl means how to take a bath, and how to kafan. Okay, then you will follow the same. Okay, so inshallah we are not going in this detail, because might be someday, if you are good enough to absorb these things, then uh, okay, you can see this one. If one feels there is a need of for a musalla, then any cloth for the house could be used. It is not necessary to obtain substitution. But if any item which will be required for the ghusl or kafan are found at home, and they are clean and pure, there is no harm in utilizing them. Okay, so they are saying it is not necessary that you are giving, you want to give ghusl at home, and you want to kafan whatever you want to, so you can do it. It is not necessary that you have to buy everything from the masjid. Of course, this is in Canada, but when people passed away in Pakistan, like they give bath. My father, the people give bath in the home, like they didn't take him any masjid for giving him bath. But there are places, if sometimes someone don't want to give bath at home, then they take to the masjid. But over here it is not allowed to give bath a dead body. Like you have to directly report to the hospital. Then the people, they come, they check, and they declare, yeah, this person is passed away. Then they put in the cover, and then they take the body to the hospital normally. One lady, she was telling me, in Vancouver they normally do not put it in the coffin, and they directly put the body. But over here there is a rule, like they said, when the body decomposes, the soil become like it will not, it is not safe, the soil become not safe. But in Islam there is no coffin concept, right? So in Saudi, in Pakistan, they directly put the dead body in the grave. But over here they put it in the coffin, because they say when the body decomposes, they don't want the the random stuff go here and there. So whatever is the decomposition should be inside the, it should be inside the coffin. Okay, but in Islam there is no coffin concept. Okay, so I have seen so many people who are scared, and they say, we don't want to die here because we just don't want to go in the coffin. So just pray for me that I die in the, in our back home, or at during the Hajj time or the Umrah time, so I can get the place there. The material of the coffin should be the same quality that the deceased used to wear, mostly the time when he was alive. Okay, so this is also very important, because coffin has different qualities. Okay, some are very expensive, some are not very expensive. So what they are saying, you should, how to decide what kind of coffin should use. So you can give the coffin the way he was dressing up when he was alive. Okay, it is a waste of money to go into unnecessary expensive, but it doesn't mean to go in unnecessary expensive. And at the time of uh, uh, companion of Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anh, it is written in the books, when the kids of Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu an, when the kids asked about the kafan, so you know what he said: when I will die, bury me in the same dress, because people are more needy than that person. So why you are putting me in the grave with the expensive clothes? Whatever I'm wearing, just bury me with the same clothes and use that money for others who are needy. Because if my deeds will be good, then Allah will give, Allah, anyways, Allah will change the kafan. So Allah will dress me with the Jannah clothes if my deeds will be good. And if my deeds will be bad, then Allah will change my clothes with the Jahannam clothes, okay, with the hellfire clothes. So, anyways, like whatever I'm wearing, just bury me in the same dress. But why they are explaining? Sometimes people get confused how to decide what kafan we should give. So, whatever he was wearing in his daily life, what kind of clothes he was wearing in his daily life, you can use the same quality dress when he passed away. Okay. If a child born with some indication of life and thereafter dies, so what is the requirement? We will give him a name, ghusl will be given, and salat will also be offered over it, because when he born, he took few breaths, okay, in the world. If a child is born with some indication of life, because he has indication of life, he take few breaths when he was alive, and then he died. Okay, so there is a different rule when a baby died inside the tummy and never see the world, and the baby who born and take breath and when he dies. Okay, so first of all you will give some name. You will not say, oh, baby, baby, baby. You will, if it's a boy, you will give a boy name. If it's she's a girl, you will give a girl name. Then you will do the ghusl, like you will give ghusl means bath. Okay, you will give her a bath, a regular bath, which is the proper way Islam is teaching us. And then the salat will also be offered. Okay, because that person, that girl or boy, was took the breath, because this is also very important. People are confused. They say, oh, the child born, he took few breath, what to do? uh, do we give ghusl? They are very small, so we don't know, like, ghusl is first on the one who are adult, or we should do the ghusl or no. So the answer is, if we take a breath, okay, in the world, for even though a few seconds, then all three things you will do. You will give the name, you will do the ghusl, and you will read the salatul janaza for that baby. Okay. However, if no signs of life are found, it will be given ghusl, wrapped in a cloth, and buried without any salah being offered. Okay, so keep in mind that if the baby do not have do not take any breath in the world, like there were no signs of life when that child born, okay, then no salat for that baby. You know why we give salah? Because I don't know, you guys know and don't know, when we born, one adult in the family give azan in our ears, a kama in our ears, not the azan, a kama in one ear, right? And when we die, then we someone read the salat janaza, right? A kama in one ear already being given, okay, when we born. And then if you don't know, then ask your parents who give azan in my ears when I born, okay? And they will tell you that this person give azan in your ears, okay? So when a child born, someone in the family give azan in the ear, okay? So just ask your parents, like, who give azan in my ear when I'm born. Not azan, sorry, akama, okay? So who give azan and akama? Azan and akama, okay? So in one year they give azan, and 1 year they give akama. So that means azan and akama is done. Whatever time you're spending in this dunya is waiting for the salat janaza. Okay, the whatever time you're spending in this dunya is basically you are waiting for the salat janaza. As soon you will die, someone will read salat janaza for you. So the aqama and azan has already been given in your ears. Okay, so understand this point, that a baby born and he has no life indication. So of course nobody give azan and akama in the ears. So if no akama and azan, then there is no salat for that baby. Okay. So understand? Clear? Oh. Is this point clear?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Alhamdulillah. Okay. Where were we? I lost you already. We were reading the note, right? Yeah.
Yeah, we were at, I think we were at this note or the one below.
Yeah. Point number 3. The deceased should be placed in the grave in such a way that his entire body is made to lie on its side facing toward the Qibla. Of course, this is not in your hand, but make sure when your mom, dad, anyone passed away, so their face should, toward the Qibla. And of course, maybe they will be doing there, right? The knot of the coffin on either side should be loosened, because they tie the both end, okay? That when they give bath and they wrap the body in the chadar, okay, so they are saying that loosen that when you put the body in the grave. And isali sawab should be made for the deceased person. This is, you can say, mandatory on all of us. When a person passed away, your brother, your sister, your mom, your dad, or anyone closer, or you can make a will to others. Okay, isali sawab means, recite something for that person, make dua for that person, give sadaqah in place of that person. Okay, this is called isali sawab. Isali sawab means you are doing those things, but he is getting the sawab. He is getting the reward. Okay, So you are supposed to do Isali Sabah for a deceased person. If your dada, your daddy, your nana, your nan, these are the close relationships, okay? As shown to us by our pious predecessor. This should be done without subjecting oneself to any custom specific or one should secretly help the poor according to one ability and from one halal earnings. Okay, so you should recite for them. You should read two rakat salah for their forgiveness. You should do a kind of sadaqah for them. You should read the Quran for that person. So there are different ways. Okay, sometimes you have someone in with this niyyah that I'm helping this whatever reward I'm getting. Please, oh Allah, give all these reward to my mom, to my dad, whoever. Okay. So these are called isale sawab. Okay, he is not doing it, you are doing it on their behalf. Okay, that is called isale sawab. One should also recite the Quran according to the one ability, send the reward to the deceased person. This is also one problem here. Okay, make it very clear. Uh, Something happened in my like someone passed away in my neighbors, and when we went there, because normally in our country when someone passed away we gather there and we read Quran for them, we just hug them and take food and serve them for 3 days because they are in grief, they are in pain, so they have no senses to cook and feed the kids. So this is very important. If you get the news that someone passed away, try to give them food for 3 days. Okay, so because they are very very in sad condition, so you should take care for the lunch, dinner and breakfast. Okay, this is very important. Number one. Number two, recite Quran for that person. So in our back home normally they gather and they recite the Quran, but I have noticed here there are two different it is uh, controversial. One group is saying that there is no recitation. Once a person pass, he passed. Whatever he has earned. Like you cannot do any kind of isali sawab to that person. Okay, there is one category who are saying this. There is no isali sawab. You cannot forward your rewards, whatever you are doing, to any other person. And our our uh, whatever we have learned and whatever fiqh we are following Imam Abu Hanifa, we are following Imam Abu Hanifa, okay, his fiqh, his teachings, okay. According to us, Isale Sawab is something, okay. Whatever you are doing, you can make dua. Oh Allah, you will get the equal reward. It doesn't mean if you are reciting Quran 1 hour and then you say, okay, give this reward to my father. So the father is getting all the reward and you are not getting it. No, if you are really reciting Quran for your father, let's suppose you recite two para or you give charity or whatever, and you make dua, oh Allah, give the reward to my father, to my mother, and whatever name you are taking. So you are getting the same reward, and those who you named will get the same reward. Okay. If you are taking name of 5 people, 10 people, 100 people, they will get the reward. All 100 people get the same reward. Doesn't mean that Allah will divide the reward, because Allah is so powerful. He can do whatever he wants, right? So he will not divide. He will give everyone equally. Okay. Whatever you forward them, they will give. Let's suppose if you forward $100 as a charity, and you make dua for 50 people, every deceased people will get reward for $100 charity, and you will also get reward for $100 charity. It doesn't mean that you will not get the reward, but there is a group who are trying to stop people doing Isali Sabab. And they say, no, 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 there is no Quran. No, 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 there is no Sadaqah. Do whatever you want to do in your life, but don't take anyone else's name because it will never ever go. Okay. So be very careful. There are people in our community who are saying this kind of thing, that there is no Isali Sabab. And sometime I am watching that people, parents passed away, and when people are misguiding them, there is no isale. Sometimes they are not reading anything for them. Okay, so be very careful. Just don't argue with them, but do whatever you can do for your parents. Sit down, recite Quran and kalima and Surah Ikhlas. If you recite Surah Ikhlas for a deceased person, reciting Surah Ikhlas 3 times. will get one Quran reward. Okay, so if you recite Surah Ikhlas 3 times, it will give a reward of entire whole one Quran. Okay, so Isali Sawab is a very important thing, and this become controversial in Canada. Okay, so do not get confused because yes, I was saying someone passed away in my neighbors. I went there. I asked, okay, if you guys want to do any kind of Isali Sawab, and the lady said she just came from Pakistan, so a few years back. So she said I have seen in my family people were doing Isali Sawab there, but I don't know. My bhabhi is saying there is no Isali Sawab. You should not recite anything, and this is all bidah. This is all bad and wrong things and this. So no, sorry, we are not reading anything. I was just um I was just thinking like she saw in her family that people are doing Isali Sawab and how unlucky the parents are that someone stop and they said they are saying right, so they make themselves stop doing the Isali Sawab for their close family members. Okay, so that is why I'm saying these things are very very important to understand because sometimes people misguide you and you stop by thinking, oh, they are saying right and I'm wrong. So you should have a correct knowledge what you should do when a person passed away, how to put the hand, how to do the step. So inshallah, you will not get confused till end, and you can say, no, I have learned these things from the book. I have a sound knowledge, and I believe on that knowledge, and I will do the isari sabab. Let's suppose if they are right, there is no isari sabab. So what's wrong doing in that? At the day of Qiyamah, at least you will not feel regret. Oh, there were isari sabab. I can forward my reward to my close family members, and I didn't, right? So it's better to do and make dua. Oh Allah, I'm doing the right thing. Please give all the rewards to my family member. And if people are uh, pressurizing you at that time, just tell them I know, but I want to. That's it. Just don't go in any kind of argument. Okay. One should also recite the Quran according to one's abilities and the reward to the deceased prior to the burial, in which a lot of time is wasted in futile conversation. One should recite the kalima and send the reward to the deceased. And you know what is happening because they are finishing this Isari Thawab concept. So people are gathering there, but they are not reciting anything. They are not reciting and doing the Isali Sawab to the people, and they are just make themselves busy in conversation. That is not a conversation time. That time is very very hard. We have learned so many times. Allahumma anis fahshati fi qabri. Oh Allah, make the first night in the qabr very easy for me. Right? That night is very. First of all, the soul leaving the body. That time is very hard. That is why it is recommended to recite the Yasin just beside that person. Number two, the first night in the grave will be very scary and very dark. Okay, so if every single person who is coming in that gathering of the funeral and they are busy in conversation. They are just talking and nonsense talking about random stuff rather than doing the Isali Sabah because they have no concept of Isali Sabah. They don't believe on Isali Sabah. But that person who passed away, the time is very, very tough. Like the first night is very, very tough. The time when people put them in the grave is very, very tough. So inshallah, these things are very this is about fasting. So these things are very, very, very important to understand because one of my family member, she was telling when I went there and visit her in Chicago, she was very old and she said, "I'm very sad today." I said, "What happened? Why you are sad?" And she said, "In our masjid when funeral came and when Imam Sahib read the janaza, and then people asked which cemetery you are going, and they said no, we are not going in the cemetery, we are just what Hindus are doing, they burn the body. What is there is a proper name of that rituals. Do you know what is the name of that in which they burn the body?
No.
No, because in Hindu culture they burn, right? You all know they burn, right?
Yeah.
So there is a name of that thing like they burn. It escaped from my
Cremation?
mind.
What
I think
cremation?
Yeah, I think it's cremation. I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah, cremation, right? So you know that person, he was Muslim, and he said, "No, we are going for cremation for my father." So everyone was very shocked. This is a story happened in Chicago, and everyone was very shocked. Is your father Muslim? He said, "Yes, he is Muslim." So he said, "Why you are not burying your father?" So he said, I calculated it's almost 5,000 for the burial and 3,000 and 2,500 for the cremation. So that is why I'm doing that. Oh my God, everybody was watching him. So uh, you should know these kind of things. When I visited last Friday, my friend, and she said this is getting so common in our culture as well, because people are not spending time teaching their kids about Islam, about the funeral, about the death time, about Islam, about Quran, about these things, and they think whatever is happening is okay. And now, because from their childhood they are trained, you have to study, you have to earn, you have to save, you have to make this and that. So they have trained their mind, have trained in this way, and they were away from Islam, most of the time. So at the time of their parents, that they don't know what to do. They are standing there, they are waiting for others. They don't know how to give them bath. They don't know how just how to stand up in the janaza, how to make dua for their parents and for their siblings if they passed away. And on the top of that, they say we don't have $5,000 or $6,000 to bury them, and then that is why we are doing that. Okay, so this is a very very serious issue. This is getting so common. Might be sometime you came across to a friend who have this kind of mindset. So you know train them, teach them, with soft spoken words, like this is Islam. We should follow this. And if you have no money, then we can collect the money with a charity. Like we can announce in the masjid that we cannot afford that, and people will give donation. And normally people do, okay. But thinking another way to save $2,500, that is so bad. Okay. So there are a few stories, like she said, this is very, very common. Every other day, Imam Sahib said, my Huzaifa's Imam, where he was going for Hajj, he was saying that people do not bring their kids to the masjid from their childhood, and they think like, okay, when they were adults, they will come by their own, or we will take them. So at that time, their brain are trained, they are away from Islam, and then they come, oh, they are using drugs, they are doing this and that. So can you please talk to him? They are misbehaving with us, this problem, that problem. So at that time, their mindset is totally changed. Okay, so it is very important to connect yourself with the masjid, with the Quran, with the Quran classes from your childhood age, so this will go slightly inside your heart. And then when these things happen suddenly, someone passed away in the family suddenly, or something happened, you should know what are the right thing to do in Islam. It is not allowed to do, uh, you know, to bury the body. This is not our Islam, right? Our Islam is to bury, even though you need to borrow, you need to borrow the money, or you need to collect the money to bury that body. And the last thing, it is also very important. Like girls do not go to the masjid. This is not to the funeral. That is not allowed. Okay, they should stay outside the cemetery. Okay, and this is not allowed in Islam to go there unless it is there are some things like you should cover yourself properly and this and that. There are so many obligations, you should fulfill all those. And then, but for the boys, okay, so if someone passed away in the family and those are close family members, okay, then the rule is when you bury someone, that time is very 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 tough on that person you bury. Okay, so stay there, stay there. It is written in the hadith. The summary of the hadith is, stay by the time someone cut the camel, make the meat, and distribute the meat. This much longer, but it's written like Arab did this work so fast. Like Arab cut the camel and distribute the camel, meat so fast. Okay, so you should stay there after burial, and you should make dua for the deceased person. You should make dua the way you were giving witness in the dunya, the same way give witness at the at the day of Qiyamah, and when angels will ask you questions. So don't get scared in the with the darkness of the grave, or answer all the questions. Don't worry about it. We will do the isale sabah wherever we are, and inshallah remember then always in your duas. Okay, never ever forget. I don't know. I was not very big enough to understand all these things. I was not very much closer to Islam at that time, but I still remember someone came to me at the time my father died, and the lady told me like every time read two raka namaz maghfirat, like namaz forgiveness for your father, and make it habit to do so. So for longer months, like I always remember to read two raka, forgiveness salah for my father, and I still give dua to that lady. I still don't remember who was that lady. I was so sad at that time. I even didn't remember who was she. I didn't remember the name. I didn't remember the face, but I remember her words that she said, "Don't forget to recite two raka, forgiveness salah for your father. Whenever you missed him, whenever you get chance, recite." And a longer time, I make it habit to recite two raka for my father. Oh Allah, forgive him whatever sins he did. Okay, so these are the loan, whatever our parents did to us, and the siblings, and all other relationship, we have to pay back, so we can pay back to them in this way, inshallah. Okay, so if you have any question now in your mind, so you can ask me anything, any question.
Nope.
Okay, any story happened to you? Kamil, Shamil and Kamil, do you have any closer masjid to your house, and they arrange funeral, or that is far?
We have a masjid nearby, and sometimes like when we go there, they like do like we like a namaz for like a dead person.
Okay. Even you know or you don't know, try to stay for the funeral and read the funeral. It will make it habit to understand how we do the funeral namaz, and then when it's time, because it's suddenly like it happens suddenly, and at that time we feel so panic how to behave, how to do the stuff. Okay, so these all things should be in the mind. Okay, so if it will be your habit going there, and first of all, this is so much reward attending the funeral and going in the qabristan, and throwing the mud on the over here. My husband was telling like in Pakistan, the graves are not this much deeper, but over here the graves are so much deeper. Once my husband say, I feel scared. I first time I visited there, and I feel scared, this much deeper is the grave. So I asked someone why the graves are this much deeper, and they said because the mud is very soft here, so they make the grave so much deeper. So the graves are very deep here, but not in Pakistan. So normally people make dua like we don't want to go in coffin, we don't want to go in this much deep. Like okay, if you will bury me in Saudi during the Umrah time and Hajj time, or in Pakistan, I have no idea about India, but Pakistan and Saudi, so the graves are not this much deeper. And this is also recommend do not you know sometimes after burying, they make the grave with the stones, and with the marble, and they put something. Maybe you have noticed, like if you have seen. So it is not allowed. Like it should be very simple. Okay, it should be very very simple. And if you will see the grave in Saudi, they even didn't put anything. After some time, you just figure out, okay, this was the graveyard, but you don't know where the cover is. They make it very flat, and they allow, okay, next person can come in. But over here they decorate and they do this kind of stuff, so this is also not allowed. It should be very, very simple. Okay, so these are the things we should always keep this in mind, and we should always make a will, in your life, like if I will die, do these things with me. Okay, don't forget who are the closer persons, do these things with me. And if it's a funeral of a father, mother, or any close family member, it is also, maybe you have noticed, if you have attended any funeral, that they stand in the qabristan and they announced, if my father or mother or brother, sister, if they owe anyone's money or anything, I'm here, I will pay back. So just let me know, because it is written that if a shaheed will die, there are so much reward if you will become shaheed, like, right? So it is written, like, if a shaheed will die, he will be also stopped going in Jannah. So someone will ask, why you are stopping a shaheed going in Jannah? His whole life is in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, died in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And someone will say he owe the money of someone, he took a loan or he didn't pay back. So that is why Allah make him stop going in the Jannah. So this is very important. That is why people normally announce, if my mother owe any money from anyone or anything from anyone, I am here, I will pay back. If my father own anything from anyone, I'm here to pay back. So always keep in mind, like, make yourself very clean, crystal clear. Like, if you are taking money or anything from anyone, always make it habit to return them. And alhamdulillah, kids over here do that. But just in case, like, make this will, like, say to the close family member, if I owe anything from you, just take it back in the dunya, because it is very hard to pay back at the akhirah. And same for the parents, when they passed away, always feel scared. Maybe they will stop going in Jannah because of this. So announce, and if anyone is, come step forward, just try to arrange the things, either in installments or whatever. Okay, so this is also one important thing. Inshallah, keep this in mind. Okay. So yeah, always, whenever you get chance, go in masjid, attend the funeral. You will get, not only get reward, but it will, sometimes we are scared from inside attending the funeral, and giving them bath and this and that. So this is so much reward, giving bath to someone, some funeral. This is so much reward. So but normally it not happen, because they allow very few people in the masjid to give bath, and they are always the closer family member. Okay, so normally they don't allow. But why I'm saying, if ever any time you get chance, do not miss that chance. Like, last time, Farah, your daddy passed away, right? You have experienced, like, maybe you have seen some weird things happening, which you read over here. Might be the people are, busy in conversation, or might be other things happening. So if we have a sound knowledge, then we can deal with the time, like, we can deal with the people in the right way, right? We can guide them at the time we are going, we can guide them. And sometimes people just doing because they don't know. Okay, so as I said, there is one group who are not, believe on Isale Sawa. So they just give a paper of the dua and say, oh, you can just read this dua about the deceased person. So even though that is a very good dua, but more and more whatever you can do. Okay, so Isale Sawab is also one important thing, which is controversial nowadays, and it will become more controversial. So be very careful. Okay, do not lose whatever chance you are getting to pay back and to read for a deceased person. Okay, so inshallah, you will be having any questions, so inshallah I can ask you, I can answer you. Yes, no?
No.
Shamil?
No.
Okay, so inshallah, make it niya that if any family member passed away, inshallah I will recite the janaza, I will give the bath, inshallah, by myself. Okay, If you don't know how to do it, you can ask the imam, you can ask the one who is giving bath, okay, please guide me, and I will do by myself. I want to do by myself for my mom. I want to do by myself for my dad, inshallah. And also, there is one important thing when when a husband died, okay, keep this in mind. When a husband died, the nikah, the girl can touch the husband, okay, and the girl is also allowed to give bath to the husband in any case if there is no man available, they can give. But if a wife died, the man cannot touch his wife and cannot give the ghusl. The man can see but cannot touch. Okay, why? Because as soon a person died between husband and wife, as soon one person died, the nikah automatically finished. Okay, automatically finished. That is why it is not allowed for a man to touch the wife after that. But why woman is allowed touching the man after that? Because she is still in nikah for 4 months and 10 days. Okay, so 4 months and 10 days is the sadness time for a woman, which she has to stay inside, not meeting with anyone means meeting with the na mehram, the one, like she can meet with the brother, father, the one she cannot marry. Okay, the relationships in which she cannot marry are called mehram relationships. Okay, so she can come in front of only in front of the mehram, but she cannot meet with anyone. There is a different logic behind that. Okay, very different things related to that. So, but I'm not going in all those details, but keep this in mind that 4 months and 10 days she has to stay inside, and she has to, uh, uh, you know, stay pass the time in that sadness that the husband passed away. This much, uh, status Allah has given to the husband, that the woman has to stay inside 4 months and 10 days if a husband passed away. Okay, so that means she is still in nikah for 4 months and 10 more days. Okay, then after that she can marry anyone, but 4 months and 10 days she's not allowed to even marry anyone. She's not allowed to talk with any namehram, and she is not allowed to go outside. If she is the one who is earning, she's the alone who is running the house, then she can go in the daytime, and she has to come back before maghrib with proper covering your face and all. So it is very hard. Like nowadays, people do not cover themselves like that. That they are covering their face and they are covering the entire whole body, right? So it's better to stay inside the house 4 months and 10 days, and she has to celebrate this sadness. Oh, my husband passed away. Okay, there is a different scenario in if if divorce, like separation happened, but I'm talking about when a husband passed away. Okay, so she's still in nikah 4 months and 10 days, and then she is allowed to do nikah with anyone else. But after 4 months and 10 days, she cannot even do the engagement. She cannot even talk with any men about the marriage unless she has passed these 4 months and 10 days. That is why she is allowed, because she's still in nikah for 4 more months and 10 days. So she can touch the husband, but husband cannot touch the wife once anyone died. Okay, so keep this also in mind. Okay, and if any other thing comes to my mind, inshallah I will tell you. But that was, I think, to in my mind. I'm just leaving this, the kafan part. The kafan means the white, the white wrapping stuff, and what, how to give bath, because normally they teach you must know what fiqh you are following and who is following that fiqh. Okay, Islam is little different, and the one who are following the other, the Imam Abu Hanifa fiqh, that is different. So you must know like what masjid uh, which fiqh they are following, you should aware of it. Okay, if you know that, that means uh, you can decide right away, like, okay, this is the right place and we should go here, and then they will guide you how to get bath and how to wrap the body in the coffin. Okay, so that is why I am leaving this stuff. That is not very important for you to understand at this stage. Okay, unless you are want to become an alim or a mufti and going in more much details, because people, the alim and mufti, for them this is very very important to learn these things, because if anyone is asking, so they are responsible to answer them. Okay, but at your stage, like, whatever other stuff we have learned, that was important. Okay, inshallah. So if you have no question, then we can keep the class here. May Allah, make a dua. Today's session was very, very important. Whatever you have learned today is very, very important. Might be, any day, any time, rest of your life, whatever, situation is, and you come across, never ever get upset. But as I said, when my teacher was teaching this, she said, everyone will face the death. So feel fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and feel it that one day someone will be doing all these things to me as well. So why not we surrender in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala before that time? Okay, inshallah. So make it, feel it in your heart, and keep everything in your mind. And inshallah, if you have anything you can share, like Farah, you have any experience? You attend the closer funeral of your daddy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have any experience to share?
No, not really.
No, really. Kamal, did you ever get chance attending any closer funeral? I cannot hear you.
Uh, can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes, I can.
Yeah, I said no.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Shamil, you
No.
never. Okay,
Like
yeah,
someone
what?
close?
Yeah, someone close
No, not someone close.
and far.
I've attended funerals. Yeah.
You attended funerals in the masjid.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, normally it happens like we go and we attend the funeral in the masjid, and that is very formal, right? Well, the closer here, I attended one of my neighbors. She passed away, and then we attended the funeral in the masjid. But that is very formal, right? But if something happened in the family member in the house, then that is something different, okay? And it should be happen any time, okay? So we should always, always, always make ourselves ready for all those things. Never ever get confused, or like feeling missing. I don't know, nobody teach me, no, I don't know what to do. I'm very confused, and getting upset at that time. No, you should be very, very strong at that time, and you should know what to do. You should grab few Qurans from here and there, or from the masjid. Always keep all those Qurans handy, and then you can offer other people or recite. If there are not so many Quran, then you can arrange the normally, the people do the chana or something like that, or you can recite things on that, the kalima on that, or the surah ikhlas on that. So sometimes some people say what to read at that time, so now alhamdulillah, surah yasin before the time of that, and kalima. And then after, the people, if they passed away, the kalima or the surah ikhlas. Okay, because if you recite surah ikhlas 3 times, it will give the reward of one quran, one entire whole Quran. Okay, so that is very good to recite. If you ever hear someone pass away, you know that person, you don't know that person, make it habit to read the dua and Surah Ikhlas 3 times. Okay, so inshallah, if I'll get time, I will teach you the dua, that what dua we recite. And in this book, there are a few missing steps as well. Like there is a dua when you are closing the eyes, when you are tying the mouth and tying the feet. There is a dua which we recite. That is a very small, short dua, which we recite. And when you are throwing the mud on the grave, there is a dua at that time you recite. Okay, so these are the small small duas. There is a dua which we recite in the funeral as well. If you don't know the dua, but at least come forward and say, I want to read it. Yes, guide me, instead of that dua, whatever you can recite that dua, and then you can finish the funeral. Okay, so make yourself ready, like as my friends say, when the kids are standing beside there and looking here and there, oh, what to do, like, I don't know, my father never teached us, my mother never teached us, but they connect you with the Quran class, alhamdulillah, and you are blessed that you are learning all these things. So inshallah, this will help you, like you will be not like others. But if you feel others are behaving like that, then you can guide them, or your friends, you can guide them, other people. I know I can guide you what to do at this point. Or sometimes you just don't tell them like you are guiding, but you can say, I have learned, okay, we do this and we do that and we do that. Don't worry, that this time will come on all of us, right? So inshallah, don't get worry and do this and do that. So Allah will give you so much reward, because at that time people is normally panic, okay, and they don't understand what to do. So if you will guide them the step, if you know everything properly, then it will be very much, it will be a reward for yourself, your family members, as well as you are just helping other people, you are getting the reward for helping other people as well. Okay, inshallah. So inshallah, keep this in mind. Feel it. This is gonna happen with all of us. Always remember me in your dua as well, my family in your dua as well, because we don't know how long we are together, and you don't know when I will, pass away. So inshallah, keep remembering the duas always. And may Allah, guide us in Jannah, and we can meet each other, in the Jannah. So it is a saying that, feel the death and feel the Jannah in a way that when you close your eyes and when someone say it's time, it's your time to die, and it's your time, you are Allah is deciding for you to going in Jannah or Jahannam. So normally Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anh, he said, if someone will tell me you are dying, and if someone will tell me you are going in Jannah or Jahannam, I will not, I will not feel for a second that this person is saying something fake to me. Feel it in a way that when you close your eyes, you will feel it in front of you, like your grave, your Jannah, your Jahannam. This much you talk about it, and this much you feel about it. So every time you feel like, okay, grave is very, very near. Maybe it's tomorrow, and I will not feel, oh, I wasn't know this gonna happen to me. When you've been in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he is deciding Jannah and Jahannam, and you should not say at that time, oh, I wasn't know this gonna happen to me. Alhamdulillah, you are among those who know each and everything. The only thing is, sometimes we involve in so much dunya and we forget this is the real life. Okay, so inshallah, every single second feel it that, okay, this is not a real life which we are spending. The real life is coming so fast ahead, inshallah. Okay, so we will keep the class till here. And I did the class today because I think the kids were not coming to me. I'm not teaching them on Wednesdays, so they are not here. So I thought, okay, this is a little serious topic, so we will inshallah cover this, and then we will continue our namaz and the transition part inshallah in our next classes. Okay. So subhanallah wa bihamdihi,
Subhanallah bihamdi.
subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika,
Subhanaka Allahumma wa
Subhanallah
bihamdika.
bihamdika.
nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta,
Ashhadu an
Ashhadu
la
an la
ilaha illa
ilaha illa anta.
anta.
nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.
Nastaghfiruka
Nastaghfiruka
wa
wa
Nastaghfiruka wa natubu
natubu
ilayk.
ilayk.
سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون،
Subhana
Subhana
rabbika
rabbika rabbil
rabbil
izzati
izzati
amma
amma
yasifun.
yasifun.
وسلام على المرسلين،
Assalamu ala
Salamun alal
mursalin.
mursalin.
والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Alhamdulillahi rabbil
Alhamdulillahi
alamin.
rabbil alamin.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hafiz.